I'm not coming on here to be all doom and gloom. It was just pre-season, and I've seen now Carrick United, particularly in possession, I've got little worries. Across pre-season, we've seen his team play with different tempos, play with more control. Yesterday, we did go back to being super direct, almost constantly, and it did really hurt us. We kept giving the ball away, and that's what then highlighted the bigger issues, because we kept giving the ball away. That then exposed the area where I have some more concerns, and that's out the possession. Against Amorim's side, we struggled to get constant pressure on the ball. They could play around us and then expose the issues that United have in the defence then, and particularly in the gaps between our centre-back and our full-back. And it's a weakness we've seen across Carrick teams now. This is the particular problem for me. We've seen these similar issues from his Middlesbrough days. We also saw it at the end of last season, and we've seen it in this pre-season now as well. And that should get the alarm bells ringing. Because what we saw last season was United far more comfortable playing from that low block. As soon as we had to try and put a bit of pressure on a team then, that's when we started to fall apart a little bit. They could play it forward, access the wing back, and then United had not quite touched tight. You're still trying to play a high line while not getting pressure on the ball, and that spells, obviously, those alarm bells there. Now, I will say, of course, added mobility, more athleticism from the transfer market would really help. Getting that third centre midfielder, a left back, hopefully a centre back as well, with more athleticism, that would really help. And it doesn't look good, the fact that our most experienced back line was the one that was there when Ten Hag had one of his worst managerial displays. You compare that to the changes the City have made in their back line, you can see where the managers of United are being left out to dry. But that being said, signings are not going to fix everything. There's still common themes out of possession that Carrick has really struggled with. You see worse teams be able to get pressure on the ball and be able to get that more consistently than what United do. And against Milan, at times we could get pressure on the ball and we got some dangerous opportunities with it as well. But more commonly, especially in the second half, we did struggle. This is an example of a good United press. With high pressing, you can see Amorim's team inverting the centre-back into midfield. Obviously, United this time around can get pressure on the ball. So as the ball goes out wide then, Mazraoui timed his jump really well onto the wing-back so they can pin him into that corner. And we've seen, obviously, Amorim's United get pinned in these sort of areas. And then it just means that you're left with a hopeful ball upfield and United can win that ball back. But particularly in the second half then, Amorim's team were able to access their wing-backs. And this was what really caused a lot of trouble for United. And this was leading to the third Milan goal in the game. And I've highlighted United's front four getting that pressure upfield, which is all well and good. You've obviously got 4 United players for 5 Milan players. That's as expected. But the trouble comes when they go out wide and they can access that wing back we've highlighted in red. Unless United's fullbacks time that jump really well, Milan can get out. And they did in this instance. The ball doesn't go straight into the wing back. It goes upfield to Gonzalo Ramos. Maguire not quite touch tight. Obviously doesn't want to be going that far infield. Gonzalo Ramos then can find that wing back and Milan have evaded that press. And then in a couple of passes, they can play the ball further forward. Luke Shaw, again, he had constant trouble with Chukwueze on that left-hand side. Luke Shaw not checking his shoulder well enough. The ball goes out wide to Chukwueze. It's not the best ball. So Luke Shaw can recover. And then United do recover into a pretty good shape as well. But in a few passes again then, Milan can access that space in behind Luke Shaw. A common theme. So Loftus-Cheek has dragged Luke Shaw in field. And again then, in a couple of passes from Milan, they can play in Chukwueze behind Luke Shaw. He doesn't do well enough to stop that cross coming in. And then, obviously, Milan can get that third goal. An instance where, obviously, added athleticism from someone like Maguire would help. Obviously, someone else on that left-back spot other than Luke Shaw might help defensively as well. But the fact that United can't stop these teams accessing their full-backs to get out, that's a common and a constant issue. Again, this is another one. Where Milan have the ball with the wide centre-back. Chukwueze drops a little bit deeper. Luke Shaw nowhere near close enough to him to stop him playing it upfield. As that ball then goes upfield, again, United don't get enough pressure on the ball. So we're playing a high line without getting enough pressure on the ball. That spells those alarm bells ringing. in a couple of just a nice little 1-2 from Milan. Obviously, it's a foot race there, and Martinez just can't keep up. Milan 4-2 up, and the game is done. But again, this problem with the wide defending has been a theme throughout pre-season. Leeds did exploit it at the start of the second half, where they constantly just got in behind our left back, and it was a mass this time around. Simple ball in behind him. Nonto then can pick up that ball and play a really dangerous cross across United centre-backs, and it's only Lamens that comes to save the day in this instance. But again then, it happened throughout the end of last season as well. As United, we struggled to get pressure on teams, particularly playing a free at the back. So I've highlighted the Leeds game from the end of last season, where obviously United did really struggle up against Leeds in that game. And even from the first few minutes of that game, we had loads of warning signs about them accessing the space in behind our fullbacks. I've highlighted straight away here. Leeds have got a 3 versus 2 on United centre-back and full-back. And they can access then their wing-back again. The ball goes out wide. He can play a really dangerous ball into United's box. And it's only again Lamens that comes to the rescue in this instance. But then a few minutes later, again, a simple ball out wide. So the ball then can be played in behind Luke Shaw. As again, Leeds just have that runner going beyond him. Ugarte has to do that job of tracking back. Doesn't stop that cross coming in. And again, then Okafor can get his foot on it. And then Leeds are 1-0 up in this game. And they caused United constant problems in this game from these sort of instances. Just accessing the space behind our fullback and whipping really dangerous crosses in. And again, yes, obviously, I'm not going to be overreacting from this Milan result. Obviously, results, as I've said, don't really matter. What's more concerning is the fact that they were able to exploit constant sort of themes in United's defence of struggling to defend those wide areas. And now it's just something to look forward to now going into the new season. It's a wake-up call. It's probably a good thing that it happened in this Milan game again. So Carrick and his coaching team now can work on that. They can obviously work on trying to stop teams accessing the wing-back, obviously trying to get more pressure further upfield. And then when we're defending a little bit deeper, stopping them getting those dangerous crosses into our box. As I've said, signings will help. Obviously, a centre midfielder with more athleticism will help in the press. Centre-backs with more athleticism will help in the press as well. I've highlighted Maguire in a couple of instances in this one. Martinez, obviously, as well, for that fourth goal. Having that recovery pace would really help as well. But the trouble right now is the United's most experienced defenders don't have that mobility. De Ligt, who knows whether he'll have that when he comes back. It was something that he struggled with, I think, a bit when he was fit anyway. So United, we do need new players. We need a new left back. There's no doubt about that. Someone who can time those jumps further forward a bit better. Someone who can obviously defend, his box a little bit better than Luke Shaw as well. That will help us. But it is a mixture of the signings and stuff with the coaching staff as well now that's really going to help us going into the new season. It's not all doom and gloom, but it's definitely something now to keep an eye on. As I've said, in possession, I've still got little worries. Out of possession, that's where I'm a little bit more cautious with Carrick United and in terms of where we are now going into the new season. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. Do you think it's a major worry now going into the new season, or are you still really confident about what Carrick is doing? Let me know, guys. As always, drop a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new around here. I'll catch you in the next one.